Okay, did you get it? Did you guess it right? Did anyone get it right? This is probably what I would consider, for me, personally, the hardest of the Souls games, and that is Sekiro, because it really does change how you have to play these games, and it takes a lot of getting used to, it takes a lot of patience and practice. God knows how much practice. There's a couple bosses in this game that took me fucking ages to beat. Some are quite trivial, some are average kind of difficulty, but some, holy shit, it took me a while. But Sekiro is probably, yes, my hardest, but definitely one of my favourites. I love the theme of it. The Japanese theme is awesome. The story is amazing. It's visually very impressive. Again, replayability is also key in these games, and this definitely has it with its multiple endings and stuff like that. Very, very cool. I do have every single trophy on this game, so I've done everything to death. I've played it many times through. We'll be playing it again very soon, within the next month on stream, so that'll be fun. I'm out of practice, I haven't played it for a while, so I'll probably die to the first boss about 50 times. But Sekiro is honestly one of my favourite games ever, and it is the game I would consider one of the most difficult games I've played, but that doesn't change the fact that I really enjoy it. So today we're going to talk about why that is, why I think it is so hard, and why I enjoy it so much. So if you're a fan of Sekiro, let me know your thoughts of it down in the comments. Do you think it's the hardest one? Do you think it's the easiest one? Then, by all means, let me know. And remember to subscribe for more Resident Evil, Souls-like, and horror content on the channel. We upload every day and stream every weekend, so it's always a good time. But without any further ado, let's jump into Sekiro. First off, I do want to say, this footage is ripped from old videos I posted when I played through the game for the first time, and these are couple boss fights from that footage. I don't know why YouTube decreased the quality of it. I literally just imported it back to my laptop, but it seems to have manually lowered the quality of the video, so I apologise for that, but hopefully it's not too bad. I just want to throw that one out there. So, Sekiro. Why do I think it is so difficult? And I did mention it briefly just in the beginning. They really did change how you need to play the games in this game. Obviously, if you played Dark Souls or Bloodborne, you'll know that dodging is kind of the king when it comes to fighting things, you know. Dodging is a safe, kind of temporary few seconds where you can't take any damage if you time it right, and you can kind of get a couple of hits in after the fact. And then even with Bloodborne, you know, the game encouraged a more aggressive playstyle, you know, like you got hit, you would take damage, but your health bar would still be there for a little bit. If you hit the enemy a certain amount of times, while your health bar that decreased but still there, you get the health back. So it did encourage a more aggressive playstyle, especially towards some of the bosses. So they all, but you know, for the most part, Bloodborne still dodging is key, but that all changed with Sekiro. For me, Sekiro, to kind of put it in its brief kind of explanation of how you play it, and this might be the worst analogy of it ever, but imagine a rhythm game, but if you mess up, you die over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, the parry system in this game is what's key. You have to actually sword fight someone properly. You both have like a bar, which is essentially your stamina, I guess. If that gets to full, you can't block, you can't parry, and if it gets to full on the boss, you can kind of do that. I don't remember the name of the attack. It's like a special attack where it gets rid of a health bar off of them. But again, with bosses, it's a lot harder to get their stamina bar down. So you really have to kind of deflect everything they do, learn their attacks. Some obviously are undodgeable, so you have to time it while jumping over the blade or pressing dodge at the right time to do an animation that stops the thing, or hitting them out of it, which sometimes isn't easy. Parrying is definitely the key to this game, and I actually really like how it works. It is really quick paced. Every boss seems to be very aggressive. They all have multiple different play styles and movesets, so you have to kind of figure out what they're going to do, when they're going to do it, and then while they wind up an attack, you have to figure out, okay, am I going to deflect this, am I going to move out of the way, am I going to jump over it? Like, you have to know what to do before it happens. Now, with many of these games, you know, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all those games, the difficulty, for me, again, this is a personal opinion, the difficulty does diminish on a second run, you know, a consecutive run, because you know what to expect, you know what the bosses are going to do, and you can kind of just prepare yourself. Obviously, you know, second time through might still be a little bit of a throw, because, you know, you just finished the game for the first time and you've struggled, and then the second time through you're doing it again, it might be a little bit difficult. But you know, consecutive runs, the more you play it, the better you'll get. I remember playing it through for the first time and get absolutely beat down, especially by this boss. This took me many attempts. This is the one attempt I beat him in. But yeah, I remember getting beat down by plenty of bosses in this game first time through. But then on a second and third, some of those bosses that gave me a difficult time, I kind of breezed through quite easily. So again, there is a kind of a learning method involved, and you have to you will learn how you play it. But if you are someone who plays Dark Souls, Bloodborne, those games quite often, Sekiro is different enough that you do have to kind of adjust your playstyle a little bit just to actually be able to play the game. But yeah, that's the basis of how it works. It's more parry dependent. Again, I do like to use a rhythm game as an example. You don't have to time everything perfectly, or you'll just die, or get massive damage applied to you. Straight out of the gate, some of the bosses that did give me a hard time, and I will be doing some list videos soon across Bloodborne, Dark Souls, and this about my favourite bosses in the game. But some of the bosses that gave me a hard time was definitely this version of Owl, Ashina, the last boss. Fucking hell, he took me so long. Guardian Ape. Everyone says that's hard. I didn't have much of an issue with Guardian Ape the first time, but when you go find him later on, when he has like an extra monkey with him, that gave me a bit of an issue. But the first version isn't too bad. Definitely the second version. And then, what else? There is another one, but I don't actually remember the name of it. I think it's the monk. You're the monk on the bridge when you get to like the dragon area of the game. That one. I don't remember what it's called. Corrupted Monk, maybe. Either way, that one gave me a bit of an issue too, because I think it has 3 life bars and a bunch of random attacks. But either way, still very enjoyable. What really drives me to play these like Souls-like games is even if I'm dying to a boss repeatedly, every time I die, I always go back and go, right, this time, this time I've got it. Like, and it's addictive. Like, I hate dying to a boss over and over again. It is annoying, but in games where I usually get pissed about it, like let's go for Resident Evil. You know, if I was playing like through a Madhouse or a Village of Shadows and I got to like, let's just use Resident Evil Village as an example. If I got to Moreau and died about 50 times, not 50 times, but if I died about 5-6 times, I'll be getting really annoyed. Because it is literally just shoot the guy until he dies. But with a Souls game and Sekiro, you have to kind of learn what you're doing and what they do first. Because they obviously are a bit more kind of involved than a Resident Evil boss, you know? So, every time I die, I'm like, okay, he does this now. Or they do this now. So, this is the one, I can do it now. And then something will happen, I'm like, okay, I'm dead. This is the one. You know what I mean? So, every game, every Souls game, you know, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Neo, this, I always have that, this is the one mindset when I'm playing. But in terms of other things in the game that I really do like, I really like the prosthetic upgrades. They're really cool. They're quite different from each other. The one I used the most was probably the firecrackers. I was kind of crutching on the mortal blade in this fight near the beginning, and I don't tend to spam it in any other boss fight except this one because it just pissed me off. But the firecrackers are really cool. I use those a lot. There was another one, I think it was like the axe. That was really cool. And then there was the one, I don't remember the name of it, but essentially you throw it at something, and if you do it again, it kind of like just makes them disappear. Like, I don't remember what it is, or what it's called, but I do remember that being pretty cool. And they're all quite unique. Again, very, very cool, very, very unique to the game. The stealth is really, really good. Obviously, you know, in a Dark Souls game, essentially stealth is just kind of walking up to something very slowly, but in this game, it's full-on stealth. You can climb up trees, hide in grass, sneak attack a lot of enemies that will obviously one-shot them, especially normal enemies. There is certain areas and certain opportunities where you can sneak up on a boss and take a health bar immediately. Very rare occurrences, but there are some bosses that do allow you to do that. And it obviously helps out because one less health bar to worry about. I think most of the bosses in the game have at least 2, which is rough at times. The game, like I said, is beautiful to look at. The environments are incredible. The art style is amazing. The soundtrack, once again, amazing, especially in boss fights. Every area feels quite unique to each other. My favourite is probably the last part of the game when you go fight the dragon, or the serpent, or whatever it's called. The flying dragon. That area just looks incredible. And, there's so much going on in the game. It really does feel like a Souls game anyway, but it just plays so much differently to what you're used to that it just feels like a new game. And obviously it is a new game, but you know what I mean? Like, it's got a different formula inside it, but it is still that same difficulty focused game that everyone likes. Very, very good game. Very, very difficult. I can't stress enough how many attempts it took me to beat some of the bosses in this game. I still enjoy it to pieces, but my god, it's probably the hardest one I've played so far, because I'm sure later down the line, even if there's ones I haven't played yet, which I will be starting Nioh 2 soon. Maybe even when this video is going up, I've already started it, but I'll have to see how that goes. But either way, Sekiro is probably my hardest Souls game. Did you get it right? I'm interested to know. Let me know your thoughts on Sekiro down below in the comments. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's easy? Do you think it's hard? Have you yet to beat it? These are all questions I must know the answers to. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for a brand new video.